Today I'm going to show you how to run Facebook ads in 2024, and unlike most videos that just show you how to build the actual campaigns, this video is going to give you everything you need to have success with your Facebook ads, because in 2024 really building the campaigns is the easy part. All the work is really done before you build the campaigns and around the creative, and that's what's going to give you the success in the platform. Okay, so let's jump into the computer and look at what we're going to do right now. So here is what we're going to cover. Now, every single step in this is going to be important. None of it is wishy-washy. It might look that way, but absolutely every single thing I'm showing you is crucial for success in 2024 with Facebook ads. So we're going to be creating avatars. We're then going to go on to crafting or establishing what our messaging angles are to resonate with people, the way we're using our messaging and our creative. We'll then define what is the actual awareness level of our audience. You'll then come in and pick a creative template to create your creative from the ones I'll provide. You'll then start crafting hooks for your actual creatives. They're going to hook people into actually, resonating with them and target the people. Then we'll come down and show you how to actually build the campaign structure. And then finally, a step that no one really talks about, which is super important, the actual review process, and then being able to continue that cycle again after that. Okay, so let's get right into it with creating avatars. So avatars, or buyer personas as they're also known, are essentially demographics and different information about who your ideal customer is, so that we can speak to them more effectively with our marketing angles and represent them fully in our creatives and things, right? So I'm going to make this super easy and fast for you. It used to be something you have to spend hours doing, but we can just use ChatGPT to create these, and it is pretty good at it, okay? So I've given you a prompt here. We're going to come in and copy this, and then come into ChatGPT and paste this in. And all you have to do is to switch this product thing for whatever your product is. So I'm going to use the example of Ridge wallets, which I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to put in, create the three main avatars for a Ridge wallet. I'm going to put my example. For each avatar, please provide their demographic info, age, gender, relationship status, financial status, and education level, their frustrations and fears, their wants or aspirations, also known as desires, and their key purchase drivers. Then create a table for each avatar, one column before, one column after, of their before and after states regarding what they own, how they feel, what their average day looks like, and how society perceives them. Okay, so do that, hit enter, and that's going to spit that out. So while that's happening, I'm going to show you Ridge Wallet. This is Ridge Wallet that we're going to use as an example. It's essentially a minimalist wallet, very big brand from the US, I think. And yeah, just like a sleek, nice product. Their main product was the wallet. Now they're expanding the brand into other things. But yeah, essentially replaces big fat old wallets for something more compact and better looking, okay? Stylish. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to create the avatars, as you can see. And I've asked it for free, but what you're going to do, I have an example, is you're going to pick the one that is the core avatar to start with. So here it's giving me the young professional, and you can see the demographics, the frustration and fears of young professionals, the wants and aspirations, their key purchase drivers, and then the before and after states, okay? This is going to allow you to have a mental picture of who this person is, and you can always come back and look at this whenever you're creating messaging or whenever you're trying to decide on what creatives you're using, and think about the things that they're fearing or what they're desiring, so that you can be super targeted in how you're actually speaking to that person who's going to be on the platform looking to buy your product, okay? So the young professional avatar, you can see here, the real core thing is the frustration and fears and the wants and aspirations when we're making our ads. So pick the one that is the main one. And what I would also say with your avatars, yes, ChatGPT is good, but you know your product better than them. You know the market probably. So you might want to come in and refine this and just add to it, make it more detailed, or maybe it's something you think is not that important. You can come in and like switch it for something that is more important. Okay, so certainly I've done this for my brand, but ChatGPT is pretty good at this part. It's maybe not as good at creating actual copying things, but doing stuff like this, ChatGPT is very good. Okay, so that's step one. We've created our customer avatar. Save that somewhere. You're always going to have these. They never change. But you might have new ones. And then we're going to go into messaging angles, right? So what messaging angles are, it's not the actual messaging we're going to be using. It is the categories that the messaging is going to fit into, okay? So I will show you examples in a minute. But for example, if we're talking about like an iPhone, the messaging angles could come under things like camera, like good camera, or what else do people use iPhone for, like sleek design or whatever. So like it's different categories of how we've been speaking to people. Or like, no, not like good camera, and then maybe like all the things about like being a fast processor or whatever. The people that care about the camera are not the same people that care about all like the software in it. So the actual messaging in both of those are very different for very different people, right? This will make more sense when I actually show you this example, because it's obviously based on the product we're looking at, okay? So what you want to do for the messaging angles is you want to go onto Amazon and you want to look at the reviews for either, well, you can look at the reviews for your product, or you can look at the reviews for competitors if you're just getting started, or both really as well, if they have a similar product. So you're not looking at the brand reviews, you're looking at the product reviews, because that's what we're obviously advertising. We're advertising the product. We want to know what people are saying about the product, not the brand. And yeah, the reason why we use Amazon is because people can audit their reviews on their own websites. They're going to hide all the bad reviews. They're going to only showcase the best reviews. You can't really see the reality of what people are saying, or if there's any negative stuff and they have tons of reviews, even if it's a positive review, they might hide that, okay? Whereas Amazon, you can't really get reviews removed from Amazon. Yes, you can use services, or like you can give people the product in exchange for reviews, and they're generally positive. But you have things that indicate that is that review, and you can avoid copying those reviews, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to come in to Amazon, and I'm already in the reviews section, so I'll just go back and show you. Let's just click on the reviews, the ratings here. Come down to the bottom and copy these into a sheet. So you can take 5 and 4 star ones. We're advertising, so we want the product. We want the positives. It's not for product development, where you might look at the other reviews. But what you can do as well is you could do this process for negative reviews of your competitors to see what people are complaining about, and then you can maybe differentiate yourself by addressing those complaints, right? With your product saying, oh, we don't have these problems. But for now, we're going to look at the positive stuff. So yeah, just come down and copy a bunch of the reviews. Really, the more data, the better. So the more reviews, the better your prompts are going to be. I'm just going to do 3 for now, but you're literally going to want to be doing like 30 to 50 reviews, right? It is worth the time spent coming in and copying them all. So that's me, you got 3, but again, you have a lot more. There are softwares that I've shown before that will allow you to come in and auto pull reviews. But one of the problems I've noticed these days with them is they can't pull stuff past this first page. So if you see on Amazon, you can go to like see more reviews, and then you'll have, where is it? Yeah, like here, like next page, the filters. The softwares don't appear to be able to get past this page, and neither do like things like plugins for ChatGPT and Google Sheets. I've tried that as well. So really the best way of doing this is literally just doing it manually, coming in and copying them. And, it's time well spent. You're not having to analyze them and read them. ChatGPT is going to do all that. So give it good data to start with, because you're going to get better outputs from doing that. So we've got our reviews. What we're then going to do is we're going to come in and copy our second prompt, which is here. I will leave all these prompts in the description, by the way. So copy the second prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, and we're then going to copy the reviews. So let's copy those. and then paste them into this bit where it says paste reviews, right? So paste them, hit enter. That's going to start analyzing the reviews. And it's going to spit out something like this. So you can see common themes, pain points before buying the product, triggers for buying the product, failed attempts to find a solution, objections, okay, and the most common ways expressed. So we have all this information from the reviews. We can use this in our actual messaging, in our copy, in how we're like storyboarding our videos, or like what we're showing in our images. This really is the gold. This makes all the difference in getting performance from Facebook ads. It's not coming from up here. It's coming from real data and what people are actually saying, who are going to be like your future customers, right? The next thing you're going to do is copy this prompt, and again, save this somewhere. This is like good stuff, but you can do this every so often. You know, this is a regular thing. Maybe do it every like quarter or something when you get new reviews, or like you're just refreshing things. And you can also adapt these prompts to say other things, right? So yeah, we're going to come in and we're going to paste this into ChatGPT. I think that's finished. Okay. So using the above findings, please identify 5 core messaging angles that could be used for marketing the product to the, and we're going to put young professional avatar from earlier. Okay, whatever avatar you've chosen, put into that place. Do not provide examples at this stage, just the overall angle, and create specific messaging at a later stage. Okay, so what that has given me, I keep going to the wrong place. Okay, what that has given me is this detail here. It's giving me the messaging angles. Now, ChatGPT with this, it gives you the right angles, but it's not the best at like making them named in concise ways. So definitely at this stage, come in and have your own review process and try and like refine these a little bit. So for example, you can see here, professional, elegance, and style is one of the angles it's chosen. Highlight the wallet's sleek, stylish design that aligns with the young professional's desire to appear polished and modern in their professional life. Okay, I'd probably just refine this and say, okay, the first angle is style, right? That's a marketing angle is going to be style. Everything in the messaging is going to relate to being style or professional style. Right? You might want to refine it further that way, right? Streamlined efficiency. What does that mean really? Okay, emphasize the compact and efficient nature of the wallet. That to me is really the angle, which helps maintain an organized and clutter-free lifestyle, maintaining everyday transactions smooth and hassle-free, right? So I would really say that's 2 different marketing angles. One angle is compact, because traditional wallets might be fat. Compact, that's different. So that's a messaging angle we can focus on. And then the second one would be organization. So like traditional wallets, you know, it's hard to find your cards. But essentially with Ridge Wallet, it's like you can flick them out. Your cards are neatly organized. You can see they're like, it's like like when you spread a deck of cards, I guess, you can see like each one individually to see what it is and pull out the correct one. Plus they have a bit to wrap cash around it. Okay, so organization and being compact, 2 different angles. I would write them down somewhere. Affordable luxury, it's probably not a core angle. Security and peace of mind with the RFID technology. Maybe for some people that's important and that could be another angle. I don't think it's going to be one of the core ones, but that's somewhere else you could have and like explore that angle as well. And then durability and quality, right? So like pick a few of them. But when we're going to start with this, you're probably going to pick your top 2 or something. So I probably, for this specific product, I would be looking at style and I would be looking at it being compact. For me, that would be the 2 core things that I think people would care about with this. You know, they want to look better and they want to have a more compact wallet. That's probably why I bought a wallet like this in the past. Okay, so anyway, let's come to the next stage, and that is defining your audience awareness level. So I'm seeing a lot more people talking about this now with Facebook ads, and really they're talking about it because they're going broad, but this should have always been done. You know, from day one when I learned Facebook ads, the company I joined originally, this is what they did. This is how they made all the creatives, and this is how they actually set up the campaigns as well when we did use heavily segmented ad accounts. And what this is it's Eugene Schwartz's levels of customer awareness from his book Breakthrough Advertising, right? And it's essentially segments customers, or like the pool of people who are your audience, into the stage of awareness they have for your product or your brand, right? So you have people who are completely unaware. They don't know they have a problem. They don't know of any products. You have people who are problem aware. They know of the problem, but they don't know what the solution to the problem is. You have solution aware, people who know there's a solution, but they don't know a specific brand. Then you're solution aware, and then finally most aware people, right? And you're just giving them like a discount. And the way we're going to speak to people in each of these pools is going to be different. The images or video we're going to show them is going to be different, and we have to move them down the funnel towards making a purchase. So we want to identify who do we want to speak to with our initial creatives. And with Facebook ads, really the core place to play on is this problem-aware, solution-aware demographic. It's not always going to be separate. Sometimes there'll be crossover in your creative that will speak to kind of people in between both of them. That's absolutely fine. But that really is where Facebook ads play the most important role. As you scale, you might start then to branch into unaware people. But really and you've saturated the market, but like most of you are going to be in this area. These areas, it's low hanging fruit. It's not scale. Like, yes, you'll have some stuff that speaks to these people, but generally you're looking to try and make creative that's going to be targeting this segment. And people are from here are just going to buy you from search, Google, all the other things, as well as just seeing other parts of your creatives, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to come in and define it. Like I said, we're probably going to use these two. So I'm going to say we want to be hitting the problem-aware audience. And I'll show you examples of this so you can understand it as well. But I do have in my course, AdsAce, which is in the description, I'll go into this in way more detail, and I'll show you all the examples of like the same topic or the same messaging, but how it would differ for each stage of awareness, right? So I'm going to try and do more on that, and as well, more on creative on YouTube, which will help. But right now in the AdsAce course, it'll give you everything, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you want to come in and choose a creative template that you can then start creating your creative around. So I've picked, these are like my favorite 5. There's obviously tons. Again, in my course, I have a big list of all the different ones you'd use and like where they're optimally used in terms of the stages of awareness, the sections of the funnel. But these 5 are my favorite creatives. I'll try and get into every single account I ever manage. You have problem solution video. This is my absolute favorite creative type. I think everyone should use this. People who do drop shipping, this is a lot of what the products are based around. This is the videos they create. It really works for any type of brand. Any marketing, really, even like content, content on YouTube. A lot of it, what I'm doing is problem solution. People have a problem, you speak to that problem to get them interested, and then you present them with a solution. I have another video on YouTube where I actually show you how to make one of these in detail. I'll link that in the description, and you can see all the different parts of a problem solution video. You can see me script it, storyboard it, and produce it, right? So that's the core one I like. Benefits and features, another core one you'll see with many, many brands. They have a product image, they have a hook on the top that's going to speak to relevant avatar, and then they're going to have the benefits and features of their product, okay? Us versus them. So with us versus them, like I said, we're doing the problem aware and solution aware audience today. So our us versus them, a lot of people, what they're doing with us versus them is they're doing like them compared to another brand, but that's very much bottom of the funnel. That's people who are solution aware, product aware, and just saying why you're better than that other brand. You remember, we want to be going for the higher up the funnel people, so we can still use an us versus them creative, but we're talking about it more in terms of the problem or the solution they're aware of versus our products, like getting them higher up on that funnel. So here you can see this one's doing that. It's not talking about brand A and brand B. It's talking about our brand versus just a normal t-shirt, okay? Introducing maybe problems here, baggy fit, short length, shrinks, and then giving your brand as a solution. Fit for big men, extra length, pre-shrunk. I imagine this avatar is like muscly guys or something, and that's how they're targeting them, right? The next one is press, and the press one is another one I really like. This is used commonly with shout out pages and things, and essentially what it does is it tries to mimic viral content, viral stories that like media pages have historically used, but the story is essentially about your products. You can see here the viral natural soy wax candles now coming in tea light pack. This is just being created by the brand. It's not like this is a media thing talking about this. It's been created by the brand, but people are just going to look at it and we're kind of conditioned to respond to these gossipy, viral sort of story posts from the shout out pages. And then the final one is how to use, or like how it was made. These videos are really good as well. They just get you engaged in what the product is, show you it working, and yeah, that can often like make you want to buy it. It's POV a lot of the time. These would really be my 5 core videos. So again, I have a big list in AdsAce where you see multiple examples of each of these, and you can see you can like watch them all, and you can actually like copy them. But yeah, you will be able to just find them on TikTok and on Facebook Ad Library if you just start having your eyes peeled looking for them from your competitors and start saving things that fall into these different categories. But for now, you're going to pick one. So like, I'd say start with the problem solution. That's my favorite one. I always start with it. But yeah, you can pick one or you can pick 2, depending on what you want to do. And I'll explain that in the actual structure section. The next step you're going to do, though, is you're going to move on to actually crafting hooks for your creative. Now, the hook or the creative is essentially what gets people interested in learning more about the creative, and it is 90% of what your creative actually is, okay? The hook is the most important part. You spend the most amount of time getting that right, because without the hook, no one watches the video or looks at the image, so the rest of it is irrelevant, okay? You have to get them to actually look at it, and then you can focus on the other stuff. So spend most of your time trying to get the hook right. And there's really 2 ways you can do hooks. They are fear-based or they are desire-based. So fear-based being what people are trying to move away from or don't want. Desire-based, what people are trying to move towards, what they want, okay? And like we did earlier, or as we did earlier, these come into these sections. So we already have what people want to move away from, and we already have what people want to move towards, okay? So you can look at these here, you can add your own, but they're going to give you a good starting point. So people want to get away from clutter, disorganization, appearing unprofessional. So like I said, ChatGPT is good, but it doesn't give us everything. There's nothing here about moving away from being unstylish or whatever. You have to really add to it based on your knowledge of your product and the market. But anyway, let's look at how we do some of these. So the hook as well it's not text and it's not visual as such. It could be either. So it could either be a text hook or it could be a visual hook. You don't have to, it's not just always text or like, has to be both. You could do either or. So you can see in this example, this one's moving away from fear. Why this wallet was created for men, that's nothing, that's not really the hook. That's nothing to, what would I say? That's nothing that's really going to make you stop. It's just giving some context. So we're giving context that we're talking about the wallet and the targeting people is for men. Okay, that's all that's really doing. The hook of this is actually a visual hook, and it's here. It doesn't need to explicitly say big bulky wallet. From looking at this, there's a guy's face, his shock. He's measuring this wallet. If I have a problem where I don't like that my wallet's really big, I can join the dots. I can go, oh, people are judging my big fat wallet. That's how my brain subconsciously is going to look at this. I'm curious, why is this guy measuring this wallet? What's he going to talk about? This is why the wallet was created for men. What wallet is that? Okay, so the hook is this visual. This is like additional information. And then I'm going to proceed to watch the video to get the rest of the information, okay? And then the second one is desire-based. So it's the opposite here. There's nothing inherently in this visual that is really hooking in a target market. Yes, it might stop the scroll because it's like, well, what's that? But the thing that's really telling the platform who to target and hooking them in is the text. So like I might scroll and be like, what is that? Read the text. That's how your brain's going to work. Here's how this wallet saves you time and makes your life easier. If I am the type of person who is desiring to save time, if I want to save time and I want an easier life, because I have the problem of I don't have enough time, and I have a hard life. That's then addressed. That's speaking to me directly. I am that person. I want to know, well, what is this? How can this save me time? So I don't necessarily know why this wallet's going to save me time, but I want to know, well, how could a wallet save me time, right? That's what that's doing. That's how it's going to hook me in. And I've given you examples of these to show you how you would take all the elements we've looked at with ChatGPT and create these hooks. So I've not spent a lot of time on these. Like, you really want to spend the time doing them. Some of them, other them are ones Ridge Wallet I've actually used. Others I've just kind of like come up with. So they're not the best, but they'll show you like how you actually do this. Okay. So here we're using the hook of fear. We're speaking to a problem aware audience, and we're using the marketing angle of streamlined efficiency. But really I'm focusing on it being compact. That's really what it's talking about. Okay. So how do we speak to those people? Well, here's the first one. Avoid the bulge. What's the problem? Bulgy wallet. And what do we want to do? We want to move away from it, so avoid it, right? That's the fear-based problem-aware hook. Now, that's probably not going to be text on its own that's going to give you everything. I'm probably going to have to show that with a bulky wallet, but this is a good text line that could be put onto this. Avoid the bulky wallet, and you see it. And that's a good text hook. But equally, that doesn't need to be the actual text hook. I'm giving you these as the hooks in text form, but that could just be taken as, right, that's the hook we want to do. How do we visually represent that? Let's show a bulky wallet and someone like steering clear of it or whatever, right? It doesn't need to be, when we say hook, it doesn't need to be, or when we say hook in like messaging, it doesn't need to be the actual text you're putting on the creative. Yes, a lot of the time it will be, but it could just be a starter for 10 to help you think about what is the visual you're going to use in your creative, or what is the audio that you're using in the script, right? Ditch the dad wallet. That's one that Rich used. They have an image of like a big fat brown wallet, and they're like, ditch the dad wallet. To be honest, that's not really streamlined efficiency. I've given you that as a different example. That's more like the style category. But what it is people don't want to be associated with their dad. It's a young professional avatar, remember? So to them, that's like you shaming them a bit. They want to move away from that. They want to be like, here you're like, bring it to my attention. Here's a wallet that looks like my wallet. That's a dad wallet. Oh, I have a problem. I know I don't really like my wallet. I have that problem. Let me move away from it. What is this company offering me? Okay. And then stop ruining the suit look. Again, that is a style one. So I probably shouldn't have put this here. I've put it here, and then I've given you examples of other stuff. But yeah, like essentially you would have these categorized by what is the actual marketing angle, because you want to keep them separately. But let's just give you an idea of how you craft them, right? So stop ruining the suit look. Again, problem. Don't need to explicitly say it. But I'm dressing that your wallet is ruining the suit, because anyone that wears suits knows that when you have something in the pocket, it really, really exaggerates how it looks, and jeans or something wouldn't do it as much. It just looks terrible, okay? And then desire, let's just quickly look at these. So you can see here, most compact wallet for suits. Again, this is the style. Well, this actually is the compact angle, but it's speaking to the avatar as well directly, because if I am like an old retired person looking for a wallet, different avatar, I'm not wearing suits. If I'm a ladies buying as a present, maybe, I maybe don't care about suits as much. Or like if I'm a mum buying it for my kid, he's not wearing a suit. This is speaking to that avatar as well as their problem, okay? And that's what you want to be doing. It's not just always like general. That's why we make the avatar. Looking for a slim wallet, addressing, it's kind of like, it's like problem aware, but also solution aware. They have the problem. They're looking for the solution. They know what the solution is. A solution is a slim wallet. Are you looking for it? That one kind of sits between the two. And then this wallet looks great with a suit. Another one. Okay. So like the messaging part really is quite hard. You have to learn some copywriting. You'll get better at this over time. One easy way to do it is just to look at competitors, or look at other brands that maybe have like similar problems, but it's a different product, and switch the words in. Look at what's worked for them and switch the words in. So like I might be looking at this, hack your sleep. Maybe it's like hack your style. That's the kind of thing you could do to like switch it to a different thing. Reduce nighttime waking, reduce disorganized wallet, or reduce wallet size. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's that done. The next thing you would have to come and do is to actually build your campaigns. And again, I have another video that shows you me step by step building this. It's not really different. This is the structure you're going to use. So you can go into the description and watch that full video to see me actually doing this if you want. If you're familiar enough with Facebook ads, basically just set them up this way. Okay, so what you're going to have is you're going to have a CBO campaign. What that means is the budget's set at the campaign level, not the ad sets. So you're giving Meta the ability to choose how they're moving your budget between your different ad sets. And the reason we do that is we want to make our testing as efficient as possible. If something's not working, it's not going to be given spend by the algorithm. If something's working really well, it's going to get proportionally more spend from the algorithm, and it's going to perform better. We're not wasting that time of us manually having to go in and review how performance is, okay? So with these, you're also going to have, we're going to start with 2. You always have 2 running. Once one's finished, you'll pause it and have another one back up. But we're going to have 3 creatives in them, 2 copy, 2 headlines, right? Now, the 3 creatives, they all have to be the same type in each ad set. That is the rule. And the reason we do that is because images and videos are going to behave differently. So if I'm doing one where I'm testing an image, I have to have 3 different images. If I'm doing one where I want to test a video, it would have to be 3 different videos. Don't mix and match images within an ad set. But of course, if you wanted to do 3 images here and three videos there, you could do that. But equally, if you want to do 3 videos here and 3 videos there, that is also fine, right? Doesn't really matter. But just don't mix and match within the ad set. And then you're going to have a previous best ad copy from your platform, from your ads, and a previous best headline. And then you're going to add 1 new copy and 1 new headline. Now, the reason we're doing this is these are reducing variables. So these are all already proven to work. The core thing we're trying to do is find a new creative, because creative is the most important part of the ad. That's really what's driving the performance. Copy and headline is secondary, but do have an impact as well. So we want to isolate those variables, have them fixed as something that we know works. So anything we new we find at least has something in this area to start with and work. If it was completely new and the copy was just terrible and nothing worked, we might actually have a good creative, but the copy was just really bad and that like ruined its performance or whatever. Okay, so that's why we're doing that. But we also want to try and find new stuff in case there's opportunities to get new, better things. You know, we always want to be growing the account, finding new things. So that's why we add 1 more copy and headline variant that are new, in case you find the situation where actually this new copy is better than your existing copy. So you're going to get a new image paired with new copy and get those results, right? So that's what you're going to do there. There are a few rules for this. So like I mentioned about all creators going in the same one, you want to have 1 ad concept per each one. So that's going to be 1 market desire or 1 market fear. So how we're talking about these all being the same fear, really, you want to keep them the same. So I'd say like it's fine with the marketing angle. So like everything has to speak to the same marketing angle, the same sort of fear or desire. It doesn't need to be the exact same hook. Like it doesn't need to say the same thing in the actual words, but it has to be saying the same thing and how it's saying it. So like if I say, what would it be like? Avoid the bulge. Like one could be avoid the bulge. Another one could be like ditch the bulky wallet. You know, they're saying the same thing, but they're using different language. Okay, that's fine. Those could be in the same dynamic creative. So that's what you want to do. Keep the variables the same. And then you also want to test. So I have said here, you want to test 1 variable per dynamic creative. That's really when you're up and running. If you're just getting started, it's the first time you're doing this, you probably want to use vastly different creatives. So they're still going to have the same concept, talking about the same angle. So for example, if I was doing problem solution videos, I would probably have all 3 of these being a problem solution video. I wouldn't do like a problem solution video here and a how-to video there. They'd all be problem solution, but they could all be different videos, like very different. I'm trying to find something that works to start, see what sticks, and then let's say I found one problem solution video that worked. I'd then take that video and I would make variations of that in a future test, and then that would be us just isolating the variables and seeing what one of those similar ones perform better. But again, I have a video on creative where I show you this in detail. I talk about it a lot more, and that would take too long to do in this, but I'll link that too, and that will really make you understand how you refine creative and how you test creative, right? So that is the structure. Do I need to tell you anything else? Yeah, one more thing with the actual testing. Run the test for 1 week and allow it to spend 3 to 5 times your target CPA before you turn it off. So why are we doing that? Because you could have something running for a couple of days and it's just in a period in the week where the performance is low. There's often patterns in how performance is. So for example, I used to have a jewelry client and what would always happen is like Saturday, Sunday, people would look at the ads but never buy. But on Monday, they came and had a spike, which was their best day every week. That's because there was a pattern where that's how people would behave. Look at it in the weekend, go into work in the morning, and when they're meant to be working but they're bored, they go on shopping. Okay, that's how people would behave. So if we tested any creatives over the weekend, we would have bad results, but actually they might have been performing. It's just we know that's how people behave. So I always run it for 1 week. You get the full calendar to say, actually, this has performed. Yes, there's going to be behavior or like patterns intra-month as well. You know, you might have it at the end of the month, it does better. In the middle of the month, it goes quiet. But because you're always going to be assessing performance of these based on the account average at the time, that doesn't really matter. You know, if the account average is like down in the second week of the month, your DCT might have a lower ROAS or a lower CPA, but you're comparing it against how the average is in that period, and you'll be like, well, it's better than the average. It is therefore a winner, okay? So that's what you're doing with that. And then the reason why we're doing 3 to 5x target CPA is the spend. This is a problem I always see with people. They'll say, oh, my creative tests, I turned it off because it wasn't working. And I'll look at it and be like, yeah, but you've not even spent the price point of the product, so you can't say it's not worked. You've not spent enough to get enough data. You know, the platform needs data. So certainly spend 3 to 5x your target CPA before you turn it off. What was the other thing I wanted to say about that as well? But if something's spent, if it's lasted a week and it's not getting spent, you know, if it's lasted a week and it's not spent that amount of money, it's probably not going to get spent. There's something in it that the platform's suppressing. So at that point, you can turn it off. It's not spending, right? But don't do it like after like a day or two, you know? And then you're going to move into step 7. So this is something that no one ever talks about on YouTube, but this is how you get better. You know, this is how accounts scale and how you improve creatives, because it's not guesswork. Like doing this kind of stuff really improved my performance. So like what happened 2.5 years ago, I had a client that fired me because we couldn't get any performance. We couldn't beat their existing stuff. And we tested 300 creatives in the month. But we weren't making stuff strategically. We were just making creatives, throwing them at the wall and seeing if something stuck. That doesn't work these days. Yes, you might get lucky and find something. It's way better, way more efficient to be strategic on how you're creating creative. And the way you do that is to assess every test you run, create hypotheses from that, and go and test them, and then review it again. And you start to learn things that work in the account. You start to learn things that work with your audience, and your creatives improve over time, right? So this is super important. Every creative test, I want you to come in and ask for each ad set that you've ran, what went well, what went bad, what did we learn, and note it down somewhere. So I have a big spreadsheet for this. Again, this is something that's in my course that I give as a template. And I'll show you how to use it. But like every single creative test, I'll come in, answer these questions. I will put the data, the actual results, and I'll compare it to the average. That will be there as well, so I can look at it at any point in time. I'll then come in and I'll assess the breakdowns of age, gender, and placement. So you're going to come into Meta. I've shown you it here. You'll come to this in the columns and you'll do the breakdown. This is me showing you placement as an example, but it's the same thing for age and gender. and you're then going to filter it by the spend, okay? Now, the reason we're doing this is we want to see if there's anything that goes against the target market. So for example, I could look at this and go, right, we're trying to target young professionals. They were 25 to 35 or something, if I remember correctly, from the avatar. Well, that demographic are going to spend a lot of their time on Instagram, and they're probably going to be watching Reels. You know, that's my age. I know that's what we'll be doing. Older people are probably not going to be on Instagram, and, you know, they don't have like dopamine ruined brains where they're going to be endless doom scrolling, right? But this demographic will be. So if we're not getting exposure from spend on Reels and stories, and it's a video creative, I'm going to look at that and go, well, actually, we're probably missing out here. I know that target market's going to be there. What can I do to this theme? Maybe the theme's performed. Well, what can I do to this theme to get it more exposure on Instagram Reels and stories? You know, do I have to recreate this script in a way that's more like a reel, more engaging, like fast-paced, shorter maybe? Because I want that exposure in the reel, and is that going to then give me better performance? Same thing with age. Like if we were breaking down by age, and we're seeing a lot of our spend is going to an older demographic, okay, maybe we need to make our image more appealing to young people. Maybe we need to change the messaging to actually call out that younger demographic, use language they would understand from culture. You know, there's language that young people will use that or like cultural references that older people just wouldn't get. Things like that are going to help the AI target it to the right people, and also start helping people engage with it, which is going to send back signals to the machine learning, and the machine's going to get better at finding those people, right? So again, that's something that I have videos on where I go into detail and talk about this, how you use targeting in the creative, which I'll also link. So once you've done that, you're then going to set the actions. What do we then want to do? Do we want to how do we like go forward with these learnings? What we're going to do in our future tests, and then you can brief that with your creative team, or you can start planning out new creatives by following this process again. So we've got our actions, and we come back into choosing our creative type. Maybe it's the same creative type, maybe it's a different creative type. So let's say if I found something that works as a what is this called? Problem solution video. Maybe I then want to take everything I mentioned in that video and create it as one of these, because some people just respond better to images, other people respond better to videos. So if I've found something in my problem solution, you know, I've spoken to the problem, reduce nighttime waking, maybe that becomes my hook, reduce nighttime waking up here. Maybe I've talked about certain benefits in this actual script. Well, now we're going to take those benefits and put them on here. Maybe this glass with the product in it performed well. Well, let's take an image of a glass with the pink stuff and put it as the product. Let's test that against one that's the same hook, same products and features, but instead of the glass, it's now the bottle, okay? That's the kind of stuff you want to be doing to make new creative that is based on something you've found to be working, and use those learnings to iterate and improve, okay? And then you just follow back the next thing, create the hooks for it, build it, review it, okay? That cycle is just going to continuously repeat, and every now and again, you're also going to come back into doing this. Maybe you explore another avatar for a period because you want to expand into a different market. Now that you're doing well, you've scaled on the current avatar, you want to move into another one. You know, this is how you really win with Facebook ads. And yeah, that really is the whole process. So I'll leave links to all the prompts. You know, just keep coming back to this video, reviewing it. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I'm always going to come and help you and answer it. But if you really want to understand all this stuff, you want the fastest way to get good at Facebook ads to an advanced level, even if you're already like considering yourself advanced and you're looking at this and going, wow, I'm not doing this stuff. There's another level. Ads Ace is linked in the description. I literally have made it as efficient as possible and just cut out all the fluff, giving you the core stuff, giving you all the SOPs I use in my multiple years of running Facebook ads on big spend, big brands, and that I, to this day, do directly. I don't own an agency. I myself run the ads. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, have a very good week.